Okay, many thanks for staying with us. The program is This Morning on ITV, broadcasting from your darling station, Independent Television, located at the hilltop of Mpape Hills, Abuja. Currently, there is apprehension in some parts of the country over the very likelihood of a possible increase in the price of premium motor spirit, commonly referred to as petrol. Indeed, in an economy that is deregulated, many expected that as crude oil prices soar higher in the international market, that will likely and very likely be an increase in the prices of premium motor spirit, because we actually import all almost all our refined products here. We'll be looking at this and several others and the implications for the country as well as for the masses on this interview segment. We are joined by phone now. We're joined via phone by economic expert Yashua Aliu. A very wonderful post-Valentine morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigeria.
Yes, thank you. Now we're looking at the hike in premium motor spirit, the hike in petrol prices here, the hike in the increase in crude oil prices at the global stage, which is over $60 per barrel here, and its implication generally on the economy, on the masses, and all that. But let us take your opinion now. It's a public discourse here. What do you think on the surface this portends for Nigeria?
I remember vividly we discussed on the eve of New Year, and I rightly pointed out that we are expecting a boom in the oil price because of many factors. As a result, one of the OPEC decision to contain or to control the supplies. That is one. Two, also we have discussed one of the implications that may likely happen. That's exactly OPEC Plus. That is Russia responding to OPEC request. That is two. Third, we have also discussed that there is going to be a rise of production as a result of many economies have reopened based on the fact that the lockdown has hindered so much on the supply of crude oil and the demand of crude oil in the world market. So now we are at the peak of the issue, and we have seen how economies are picking. Despite the fact that some economies are still facing lockdown, but there is a rise in global demand. And also OPEC has done very well in containing the supply in the market. Saudi Arabia has also given so much cooperation to the OPEC. And that is why today the oil prices is going up and is going to a stable, especially the crude bed and also the Texas-based oil production. So, but what I'm looking vividly is the fact that there is a lot of gain that is coming to Nigerian economy based on the benchmark of our budget 2021. So when you look at the difference between the benchmark that we have in our budget 2021 and the rise in crude oil price in the market, there is a margin. That margin ought to have been used or utilized to stabilize prices in Nigeria, because the macroeconomic indicators of our economy have revealed that there is need to have a stable prices in our own economy in order for other aspects of economy to pick up.
Now, if you look at it from that perspective here, how would government inject the money they are getting from the increased global crude oil prices to stabilize the prices of commodity in the country here? Because it appears as though most of these things we say appear to be mere theoretical analysis here, but most times, even when we get money, what we always see go up may just be external reserves.
Yeah, it's not just rhetoric, because we are dealing with figures, and those figures is what is contained in our budget. So what I am trying to say is, depending on the perspective policymakers are looking at it. But in my own opinion, we need to establish a price stability through our monetary policy and fiscal policy. That is one aspect. The second aspect, this particular product called PMS, premium motor spirit, in the Nigerian economy is having the elasticity, the elasticity of the price elasticity of that same product is elastic. The slightest change in the price affects nearly all aspects of our economy. So there there is need to look carefully because NNPC now being the sole importer of this PNS, and at the same time responsible for our crude sales. So there is need to establish a policy where we have stable price. The economy cannot continue to contain change in PNS price based on the elasticity function of that same product. If you now, for instance, change, the first thing that will affect the economy is there is going to be change in all transportation costs. When transportation cost changes, production cost also changes. When production cost changes, tariffs and other aspects associated with any of these particular products is going to change. So if it is changing and the income of the people remain unchanged, then there is going to be inflation. And when inflation is recorded in an economy, in the long run, it will lead to unemployment. When you have much unemployment, putting our poverty line to increase, you now have a very disastrous situation where the economy, you are trying to take it out from a recession, you are going to plunge it into another different aspect of recession, which is going to be more dangerous and more unfriendly to other economies.
No, but now that we are seeing that we are going to make more money here, we are looking at it from the impact that the possible hike in petrol. Now, are you let me sound and open it the way it may be, or even if some of us may know. That means you are saying, like what the Petroleum Minister for State, Timi Presiva, said, that we are likely and very likely going to get a jump in price of petrol.
Yes, that likelihood is what I am hampering. What I am trying to say is the fact that despite the fact that there's a change in global demand and there's a change in global price.
Correct.
And locally, we are not having the capacity to produce what can maintain stability in our economy. It's not the fault of the consumers. It's not the fault of the citizen. It's a minus from the policy makers, especially from the petroleum industry. So, but because of the gain from the sales of our crude sales, because of the margin in between our budget benchmark and also the income they receive, the accrual. Okay. So there is need for the policymakers to carefully not make it likely to have change. We have to change the narration that it may be likely that the price of pump price of PNS may not change because government has own avenues to use other accruals to stabilize the.
But are you dancing? You are sounding like someone who is beating the drum of subsidy. The way you are sounding, you are beating that old drum of subsidy.
You see, when you are sounding subsidy, when you are sounding subsidy, because FTC has done much to stabilize oil prices because of many factors. One is that whether it is subsidy or not, whether you call it intervention or not, there is need to have a stable prices in order not to have more dangerous effect to the economy. Like I told you, the price elasticity of PMS is elastic. When it is elastic, the slightest change by a single kobo is going to affect nearly everything. When it affects everything in the market, especially from the consumer's angle, you find a situation of inflation coming in. And when you have inflation and you have high rate of unemployment, we have a situation that we call stagflation. That stagflation is what took us to the recession in 2017 and in 2016, and it took us to another recession in 2020, the third quarter. So we are now about coming out of the recession. That is the point I'm hitting. If the economy is coming out of recession, then there is for policymakers to make an intervention. It's not merely subsidy. It is
okay, Doctor, Mr. Lina, which area do you want the government to focus on? Because we must agree on very critical areas that when we get this huge amount of money coming from the sale of crude oil, which we're still selling very well here at the international market here, which area are we going to be injecting this in? Are we going to be saying, look, let's give some to the independent oil marketers, the IPMAN members, to keep prices stable? Or are we going to be doing something different?
Don't bring oil marketers into this issue.
But they are the key players. They are the key players.
Listen, there is what will make the Nigerian to have PMS at a very relative price in our economy. That is to boost local production of PMS.
Are we ready? Our refineries have not worked for decades now. Most time we spend billions on turnaround maintenance and we're not getting results.
When we want to talk on a real sense of economy, there is a refinery. We have established refineries. Money has been sunk into these refineries.
And they don't work.
Listen, these refineries, before now, they are the suppliers of PMS in our domestic economy. And that is why we have efficient distribution of these resources. Now, there has been a call, there has been a promise that Dangote refinery is going to start production probably 2021. Probably. So, but what I am hampering is the fact that whether we want it or not, the excess crude that is coming to this economy is an unforeseen income which is not coming. So that same income should be used to stabilize price. It should not be used to distribute the state resources to perform as a test to state governors, which at the end of the run is not going to create better jobs. It's not going to create more jobs. But what is important is to maintain the jobs at hand, because we are facing no serious issue about unemployment, and at the same time we are facing serious problem on inflation. Then NNPC in their policies, they have done it before. I don't want to enter into their books and make some analysis, but NNPC has explained to National Assembly the intervention they have been making in an attempt for Nigerians to buy this same product without subsidy regime. You should remember that the same subsidy has different interpretation, has different meaning. There has been intervention about social investment program in the economy and attempt to create better working condition for people, better livelihood for many Nigerians. So, but what I am trying to say, the contending issue on ground now is the fact that the oil prices, the crude oil prices is rising. That rising in the world economy is an advantage to Nigeria, but it should not be a disadvantage to the economy, because the economy is what is giving Nigeria. The economy is what is giving Nigeria to take crude oil.
But Doctor, are you not sure that by now we should have configured our mind to a set where we are not standing at a fixed point here? That Nigerians having agreed or having been forced to agree, whatever you want to use here, to accept our deregulation here, we must know that once the oil sector is deregulated as it is now, once the prices go up in the international market in terms of crude oil prices per any amount of dollar per barrel, our own premium motor spirit must go up side by side.
You see, that is all things held constant. Things are not constant,
and they have never been constant.
The regulation you are talking, the regulation Nigeria has deregulated the industry in 2016. Since 2016, subsidy regime has gone. But what did NNPC use to stabilize prices at for instance, former prices before the recent intervention by BPPRA? And you should also understand the fact that the contending issue is Nigeria is in a recession. Right now we are trying to come out of recession. That is my own concern. If we are about coming out of a recession and the prices changes, and I told you the problem of that PMS price being an elastic in function. If it is elastic in function, then what will you do? It's like a patient that may likely die, and you can resuscitate it at whatever cost. The economy is making gain. That gain that the economy is making is the same gain that it will come to them and then stabilize the prices. That is not a Mr. Besha, I'm telling you, whether you call it free market economy, whether you call it intervention, but you should remember that modern economies, if you want modern economies to work, there must be interventions by government.
Now, hello.
Yeah.
Doctor, sometimes you are sounding more like an economist from the private sector here. But, when it comes to how it works around government there, most time before you spend some money, you run to the National Assembly for environment or for approval. And when you generate money and you don't just generate it and spend it, you must go through budgetary approval. You must go to National Assembly environment here. You think we can get all of this quickly?
Mr. Ikaru, we should know that the crude oil price has not changed because Nigeria has gone to National Assembly. The crude oil changed because of policies of OPEC and OPEC Plus and the taxes. So the approach is to be made. We are to for an economy and an ending economy. An economy that is coming out of recession. An economy that is making gain. Anytime you see gain, it's for a purpose. There is no gain that will come to an economy just because that economy wants to have gain. Any gain has to be utilized. Productive economy is an economy that saves jobs, that also save prices, that make prices stable. If you make prices stable, you make your economy grow because investors are sure of what they are going to have in the market. But when you have changes in prices, especially inflation, it means that many people will do away without many things. And doing away without many things, it will make that same industries to collapse because they will not have sales. They will record losses. If they are recording losses, the ultimate result is to send people out of job in order to maintain their profit level. So the gain there is coming. You see, if had it been the economy has been working well, now in Netherlands, they have only two refineries. Now only two refineries are working. And the industry is regulated in that economy. And at the same time, the prices are stable. And because the prices are stable in that economy, the other aspect of the economy will be working. But the contending issue as I'm talking to you now is, one, we agree that Nigeria is making gain from the OPEC, and it's a long tradition of OPEC. Sometimes you make heavy losses, but we are very lucky. The benchmark of our budget is $40. Now it's $62 per barrel, making $22 gain. So the NNPC is responsible to create a conducive atmosphere where there should be refineries working. You have modular refineries. One is coming in Onitsha, one is coming in Lagos. What is wrong with the refinery that is not working? What is wrong with Port Harcourt refinery investment that is not working? What is wrong with Warri refinery that is not working? So, but it's not the fault of the consumers in the market. It's the fault of
but Dr. Ashwa here, let's look at it from the other school of thought. Your school of thought appears to be one of totally looking at it from the angle where the people will not suffer and if possible the economy would be reflected. But there is also another school of thought that believe that the public should make sacrifice so that we can actually strengthen our foreign reserves, get some money in some of the funds around here and have money for infrastructure while the masses pay more for petrol.
You see, this economy starts from household. And when you don't treat an economy as a household management, mission, economy, you will never get it wrong. What we are saying, we are not saying that people should not suffer. People are suffering. Paying 102 naira per liter. Assuming somebody has 30,000 as minimum wage and is responsible for paying transport to his office and for probably spending 200 naira to and fro. So when you make the calculation, the income has not changed. It's already suffering. After that suffering, the economy, the other aspect of associated substitute goods that he consumes, the prices will go up. What we are saying is, there is gain. Let us not just forget about the gain as if the gain belongs to National Assembly or the gain belongs to executive. The gain belongs to the Nigerian economy. And whatever gain unemployment. And when you are attempting to lose jobs, you do whatever to maintain the jobs. That is what is called job maker. And also you create new jobs. But when there is inflation and unemployment, then definitely you are going to lose jobs. My concern is simple to the economy. I want more people to be employed. The same wish and aspiration of President Muhammadu Buhari, who wanted to save over 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. So when you now begin with 2021 to take many people out of poverty, you can only take people out of poverty when you give them access to market, when you build their consumer confidence. But when the consumer confidence is being eroded, there is always going to be a contending issue with the policy, the gains that we have to sustain. We don't know for how long. Let me give you categorically. We don't know for how long this hike in price of crude oil will last in the OPEC market. We don't know what Russia will do in the next 24 hours. We don't know what Saudi Arabia will do in the next 24 hours. So the best way to look at it is to study, to make some little sacrifices for Nigerian economy to be able to stabilize, possibly to recover from the recession. And I'm trying to tell you, one of the best things to do in order to make that economy taken out of what is called recession, which is very dangerous to any economy.
Okay, and now if we turn it a little bit broader now, want to look at it here. Sometimes, like what I raised earlier here, it will be easier for us making analysis on television here on how to actually reflect the economy, how to actually take some very nice decisions here that will not make people suffer here. But from the perspective you are seeing government, are you sure your advice is already in the corridor of power, or what you are saying is being heeded to? Because from what we see, government wants to save money and allow the masses just actually make sacrifice.
You see, there is need to save money, but there is need also to invest money. Saving and investment are two different things in economy. In investing, the first thing to do is invest in human capital development.
But our reserves are looking very good now.
Yeah?
I said our reserves are looking very good.
Excellent. It's a good management. The reserves are good. And the prices are with 152 naira. Remember price, like I told you. You may look at it, government wants to make more money. But what is the use of government when many people are doing away with that many things? It's not being sympathetic to consumers, it's being sympathetic to the economy. Because we belong to all of us belong to this economy. And we believe that by investing more in this economy, that is what will make the economy to be more friendly. Remember, a lot of people cannot afford 1 square meal a day. Remember that these oil companies you are to regulate, none of them has lost in the last 25 years. No investor in oil has made no profit at all. So, but this should be considered to the economy, not just to be because of the regulation, because of government wants to do this and that. You forget about the teeming Nigerians that if, for instance, we have seen what changes, what normally happens when price of PMS changes from Abacha regime to today. And we don't want a repeat. You know, there is something more dangerous. If you don't study the psyche, the psychological adaptation of your consumers as a luxury, if you don't look at them, don't look at money. When you continue to look at money, because you want to save billions of money without investing it, what is the use of the billions if you don't invest? What we are trying to say now is just a game in between. OPEC last year was not favorable to Nigerian economy. Today, in January and February, OPEC has been favorable. If it is favorable, that does not mean we continue to
Okay, so far so good. Now, what's your projection ahead for Nigeria as we keep seeing this encouraging crude oil price at the international market?
Well, I'm expecting Burkina to do more to maintain Nigeria's supply in the market, and possibly because there is no need, we can ask for more supply in the market as a result of controlling the price. So when production is open, and that is why Nigeria is not good for us to lock down our economy too, because locking down our economy, it means we are going to have more devastating effect as far as local production of crude oil and other services in the economy. But what I'm looking is that there is one thing the case we are reporting now is not short-lived, because the American shell is about also being shape when Brent crude oil price is going high. So the shell production also is having better market, and that better market is going to bring down any effect we are going to make. And that is why I say we should not make hasty decision in trying to hike the PMS to above 162 naira. But the only thing is that we can include more capacity to have local refining capacity, so that we can begin to control the average requirement for PMS consumption and other alternatives.
But it appears that even without so much of the hike in petrol price, Nigeria is already on a stable acclivity or rise when it comes to inflation.
Pardon me?
I say it appears as if our inflation is already steady on the rise, even without without rise in petrol price.
That is why we don't want additional. That is why we don't want additional, because the inflation is of two categories. It's food. Food is more susceptible to inflation, and you can see the supply is going down, and the activities of banditry is not keeping many people out of their homes, and a lot of unemployment is increasing, and a lot of challenges to local security. So we need more money to put in security. We need better money to also put in social welfare, like human capital development. Health sector is consuming more with COVID-19. We don't know the next wave of what is about to happen with the COVID-19. So there is need to streamline, look, and have an in-depth analysis of the consequences of changes in price of a product that is normally elastic.
Thank you very much, Ayashua Aliu, economic expert. Thank you for spending time with us on the phone this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. This allowed Dr. Ayashua. I'll take some time rest. We have been speaking with him on the already increasing prices of crude oil in the international market here. I think it's about $62 per barrel, if I'm right now. The last time I checked here, and we are hoping that it will actually go higher. When it goes higher, we're going to get more money. But what he is raising, which is very fundamental and key, is the need for government to look at how the pressure, the demand will not be on those who are already suffering here. That the purpose for making this money is to make life more comfortable, reflect the economy, grow the economy, make the economy robust, and get the economy deeply and quickly running. That's what he raised, and he is raising here. But the last school of thought, we say, hey guys, save money, be very disciplined, stabilize the reserve, let the public make sacrifice a little, then we get some big money here. Let's look at infrastructure. But whatever it is here, we'll look at how it all plays out. But one thing is sure, that once the crude oil prices go up, there's likely going to be an increase in the price of premium motor spirits. That's how far we can go on this interview segment. We'll take a break. When we return from the break, the program this morning on ITV will continue.